Welcome to the Raw Spotlight podcast, where we feature inspiring leaders in the B2B space and share their unique stories. Let's get started with the show.
Hi, welcome to the Raw Spotlight, where we explore leadership, entrepreneurship, and digital marketing. I'm Emily Au, co-founder of Ready Outwork, joined by my business partner, Victor Huynh. In this series, we share insights on growing a business, the evolution of digital marketing, and key strategies for success. In our previous episodes back in Los Angeles, we talked about the power of custom website design, how website marketing services helped us scale, and the key lessons we've learned in digital marketing and web design. If you haven't checked it out yet, please be sure to give it a listen. We're here at day 4 at the SEO conference in Vietnam. It's been an incredible experience, not just learning from the speakers, but also connecting in person with SEO professionals from around the world. There's something special about these real-life conversations. Hearing about their wins, challenges, and strategies for their clients has been eye-opening for me. Before we start, I have a sponsorship message. This episode is brought to you by Ready Outwork, where we deliver uniquely tailored digital marketing services to facilitate long-term growth for your organization. At Ready Outwork, we combine data-driven insights with innovative design to help your organization succeed in the digital age. Our team of experts specializes in custom websites, design, and marketing. We're here to help you amplify your traditional marketing with innovative and unexpected strategies. To learn more, visit readyoutwork.com. Let Ready Outwork discover your organization's full potential. So joining me again today is my business partner and co-founder of Ready Outwork, Victor Huynh. From our early days as a garage startup to becoming a leading website design company in Los Angeles, Victor has been instrumental in helping businesses grow through branding, digital strategy, custom WordPress websites, custom Shopify websites. His expertise has guided our clients through the ever-changing digital landscape, delivering real results. So let's dive in. Victor, welcome back to the show.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you again. We are on day 4 for Vietnam. Very excited to jump into this, having a conversation with you guys.
Yeah. So, Victor, how are you feeling after it's our day 4, but it's a very packed day today. How was it?
A little tiring. There was a lot to unpack today. Now officially, 6 days since we left Los Angeles. So I think for me, the jet lag starting to catch up. The first couple of days was just full of excitement, so a lot of energy. But the energy level is slowly coming down. But the information and the learning still so intense, right? So I think that's the fun part. Like learning all these new things, because there's just so much out there, so much expertise and so many different people doing really cool stuff out there. So it's good to learn everything.
Yeah. So, there's a lot. Like the agenda was, there was a customer journey mapping, from an SEO strategy perspective. There were topics on new ways to get customers for free, but utilizing paid ads. There's also like how to use AI in your SEO process. Technical SEO for e-com, to build and preserve your ranking. We even had a live website audit roasting session. There's also, how to kick ass on Google Maps for the year. And then there were also, how to find clicks, for predictive analytics. And then lastly, we wrapped up with black hat tips and tricks for your SEO. So that was a lot. So what stood out to you the most, Victor?
I think the first thing in the morning was the one that really stood out to me, which was the customer journey mapping.
Yeah.
From Christopher Hoffman, I believe. So, and that, honestly speaking, when the presentation started, I had my doubts. It just looked like a sideways funnel. But as Christopher started explaining his whole concept, I mean, it made so much sense to me. So I can't wait to go back and try it out with our clients. It's super cool. So the whole idea is, you know, as us marketers and, you know, business people need to know this too, right? Your customer journeys, right? Especially on a website or a marketing funnel, you have different stages, right? You have your awareness stage, and then it kind of breaks down into like, you know, 4 different stages all the way to when they purchase, and then after they become a customer, right? Top of funnel, middle funnel, lower funnel, type of a breakdown, and which is pretty standard stuff. But he goes a step further, and you know, has this exercise that is very analog that can easily translate for non-technical SEO people to also be involved in the process. I think that's what makes it so powerful, because a lot of times, you know, we can, and sometimes we do jump and get really technical. And sometimes clients don't feel comfortable saying, hey, I don't understand what you're talking about, right? And they'll just kind of nod their head and kind of move on. And that really doesn't help anyone, right? The best ones are when they, you know, smack us across the head and go, hey, what are you talking about? I don't understand you. But, you know, that doesn't really happen in real life. I think sometimes people are too polite. So if any of our clients are listening, if we ever say anything too technical, please slap us across the head and say, hey, simplify it, you know? But that's the beauty behind this framework, right? So essentially, in a nutshell, you go into your Google Search Console, and for those of you that don't know what Google Search Console is it's similar or related to Google Analytics. You probably hear Google Analytics a lot. It's a free tool from Google for collecting data. So Search Console is just similar but more advanced version of analytics that needs to be set up. And from there, you pull out all the keywords you're ranking for, right? And then they're split into like color codes. So it's really, really easy to understand, like green, yellow, red. And green is your top 10 keywords. Yellow is your, 11 to 20. And then red is anything that's below ranking wise, right, on Google. And then you get together with your team, all the stakeholders, right? Whether they're SEO, marketing, sales, whatever it is. And then you have this funnel. So based on the keyword, based on the keyword intent, you put it where you think it would make sense, right? So for example, he uses an example of like symptom. And so if you have a cough, right? That's what prompts you to go do a quick search on Google. Hey, I have a cough, right? You're going to type in that keyword cough. And the next step is you're going to maybe search types of treatments. You know, what treatments can treat a cough, right? That's your second stage in terms of intent. The third one, you might okay, well, after you did your research, ibuprofen for painkiller or whatever, fever reduction. That's the next stage down, right? And then the next keyword might be ibuprofen near me, ibuprofen pricing, discount code, coupon code, right? Those are more intent to buy, like lower funnel. And so those are all keywords. So, and then once they purchase, maybe it's something like the daily doses. So I bought the medicine, I have it at home, and I lost the instruction manual that came with it. I might go back and search up, hey, how many should an adult take, or how many? What's the dosage for children under 12, right? So those are all keywords. And so based on that, your team or your business people that don't know anything about SEO would go and just put these post-its on where they think the stage is. What is the customer thinking about, right? And from that map, you would see if you have any gaps. Right. Why is that important? If you have a lot of low funnel keywords, you might be happy with that, with the conversions and sales and people are buying it. But that also means you're selling to people that already know you, right? That already know about your product, that service, or you particularly. That also means in terms of a long-term branding perspective, you don't have any top of funnel keywords where people can find out about you, find you. So you don't have a source of continuous discovery, right? And vice versa, if you have a lot of that, but you don't have any low funnel, that means you're not going to have sales or conversions, right? And then also the upsell opportunities and all these other customer loyalty keywords, right? So it's kind of like a sideways funnel, and then you can kind of post it, and then you could keep track of it. And this could be an ongoing thing where, hey, we're starting to get keywords in these places where we're missing on the funnel, and then also turning from red keywords to yellow keywords. Hey, we moved up, or from yellow to green, right? So the goal is to get all green across the entire funnel to have a very, very cohesive brand SEO strategy. So I thought that was very cool.
Yeah, yeah, that was really cool. I think it's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, he was looking at on a side way. He mentioned it's the 5 stages of customer journey. If we look at a regular, marketing sales funnel, it's top of funnel, it's maybe awareness, interest, right? Middle of the funnel is evaluation and maybe the purchase. Bottom of the funnel is between purchase and then all the way to becoming a customer or a client, or someone that's become an advocate about your brand. So, that's what Victor was saying in terms of the top funnel, middle funnel, and the bottom of funnel. Yeah. So, that was the way he explained it was with the visuals that he had was very clear, and I am excited to maybe share it with our team as well, and then have this exercise with our clients. I think it'll be very beneficial to figure out some of the keywords that our client may have some gaps in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your favorite of the day?
There was a lot.
Mhm.
I don't know if I had a favorite, and then you mentioned there's just a lot of information. Nothing really is standing out too much, but I think the last 2 days or so, there is a buzzword that has been, top of mind with all of the presenters, and also, as I'm talking to other people, is AI agent.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Something that, I think we kind of all know, but we haven't really been, you know, highlighting about. What are your thoughts on AI agent, Victor?
Um, so I've heard of the term, but it's starting to make more sense to me
Hmm.
after coming to this event, how powerful it is, in a, basically in a way that's more relatable, right? So a lot of people have been using ChatGPT,
Hmm.
right? And ChatGPT is based on the aggregate crawling of what's available online. So um, it's great that it has such a big data set, but the drawback is that there's a lot of junk online,
Hmm.
right? So that's where you get a lot of like false positives or false content, um, or you have things that just don't feel on brand, right? It's just very generic sounding. Sometimes you can tell. Like I think one of the speakers yesterday was like, there are humans that can detect AI better than some of the algorithms because they use it so much, up to like 80-90% accurate, right? They can read something and go, that's AI. I think we all feel like we can, but realistically, I mean, it still is, right? And so AI agents, think of hosting your own chat GPT, but with only your knowledge base or the knowledge base you want it to be based off of,
Right.
right? So, for example, if you're an automotive, right, you can host your own GPT and basically feed it information and scripts from, let's say you have training videos, blogs. You've been blogging about cars or automotive for the last 10 years. You can literally load up all those blogs that you wrote, right? You can take transcripts of all the video content. You can even record calls and translate those transcripts. You can manually prompt, right? You can train this. Basically, what you're doing is training this model. And now this chatbot agent is basically a representative of you. You could even tell the chatbot to receive and spit out information in the first person.
Right.
So it'll basically sound like you're talking, right? And the uses, it sounds kind of scary, but then the uses is like almost becomes a representative of you when you're not around.
Mm-hmm.
So for let's say customer service, right? They can just ask, "Hey, Mike, you train this agent, and they'll be like, "Hey, I have a customer asking for a refund in this kind of situation, right? What should I do?" And if you had that information somewhere or policy somewhere trained in there,
Mm-hmm.
um, now this person doesn't have to go to the database and read up FAQ and do some like dumb search, right, to find keywords.
Mm-hmm.
This chatbot agent will just tell them, hey, this is based on your question, this is our internal policy that we have a 30-day money back guarantee, blah 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 blah, right? So if you can start imagining the applications of something like that, right? Your internal SOPs, if it was trained into an agent, now people don't have to come back and ask you for something. They can just ask the chatbot agent.
Right.
You train it to look at your SEO process. You train it to look at your PPC process, right? It's kind of endless in terms of application.
Yeah, I mean, I'm imagining, right? Like maybe some of our B2B clients, they might be using a chatbot and installing it into their website. Is not just, the chatbot we see now today, but it's a much smarter, trainable chatbot where they can engage with visitors, they can qualify the leads and automatically drop them into certain email sequence funnels where it's customized based on the potential level of that customer. So that can help, the sales team kind of identify and score, these leads that are coming into a website. You mentioned customer support, after sale, it's looking through, a library of FAQs, but it's way more customized and it has instant responses with, instant queries, from actual visitors that are engaging on your site. So
Mhm.
I think, that would be really powerful in itself from a, marketing and sales perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
technology is already available. It's just that, it hasn't been, there hasn't been one dominant player yet. Like we
Right.
haven't seen the rise of a Google company that's really dominating it. But for the more technical or the people that have been staying in the loop of everything, I mean, you technically can start building out some pretty advanced stuff already.
Yeah, yeah, and I think most medium-sized businesses probably not adopting that yet because it's not as familiar to them. They probably need someone that can, train this bot for them. What else? What else was a great highlight to you for the event?
Not quite an agent, but another AI thing demo that we saw today that I thought was pretty impressive was there's a backlink company, right? And in SEO, backlink is really important, right? If you have a high authority, relevant ranking website that links back to you, that
Mhm.
tells Google that you have authority, right? So backlink is one of many tools in SEO that we use. Um, and there's this company that has automated backlink negotiations. So what does that mean, right? So there are people that own a bunch of websites out there, and they might not be actual business; they just might be content, right? A blog in a certain industry, B2B industry, or a magazine or something like that, right? How they make money is they do advertising, but one other way that people that are that are not in the SEO might not be aware of it, they can sell backlinks,
Mhm.
right? So if you're in a specific industry and you want me as a reputable publisher to link back to you, you can pay me for it, right? Um, and so it will range, right, depending on the credibility, the size of the website. If you're getting like, you know, National Geographic to link for you, to link back to you, then obviously that's going to be very expensive, right? Because they're very reputable and very well known. So a lot of times these are more smaller websites, so they'll all that pricing on the back end is very negotiable. So it could be like $50, $300, $500, whatever it is for one solid backlink. And this company they do at scale. So I think the CEO was saying that in a given month they'll do like they'll add like 10 to 20,000 websites to their database in terms of backlinks on the marketplace. And can you imagine talking to, hey John, I'd like to, buy some link from you as long as we could send relevant traffic to you, but 10,000, 20,000 different individual site owners on a monthly basis. It's crazy, right? Unless they just throw a menu out there and go, hey, if our price fits, go ahead and add us. But it doesn't work like that. So they built an AI agent, if you will, but is integrated into Gmail, right? With a spreadsheet that pulls the site owner and the contact, and they train the AI agent to generate an introduction email that says, hey, we're so-and-so company, and we'd like to buy some backlinks. And we'd like to offer you this much money, right? For a backlink. And then it'll shoot an email and it'll automatically run back and then put it back into the spreadsheet. And then when this person responds back, it'll automatically get the response and it'll determine what was that email? Did they agree to it? Did they want more money? Did they want less money? Not less money, but want more money, they agree to it, right? And then if it's too high, and he showed us the back and forth between the AI and the actual site owner. And there was one case where, the site owner was asking for, instead of $90, they wanted $150, and then they can offer for like $110, and then the person said okay, and it was able to recognize all that and then document that. And so now this website on there per link so it actually negotiated a lower price automatically without an actual human going in there and going back and forth manually. I thought that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, that was I recorded that session hoping that I can maybe see I can replicate that later when we get back. I'm excited to try it out later. Okay, well, one last question for me, Victor. I know we have been absorbing a lot of knowledge here at this SEO event. How do you see Ready Our Work maybe applying some of these tactics or strategies of what we learn when we get back with our clients?
Like I said, there are some that I think we can hit the ground running, like the customer journey mapping. It looks fun, actually. I'm actually excited to try it out. We can go back and share with our team and figure out what's a quick way to kind of roll that out. The only drawback is I think that exercise might require like more established clients with more established keyword volume already. If it's a newer client or a more smaller local, it might not work as well. I mean, it still can work. So some of these are actually executable right off the bat. Some of them are more work in progress, right? And will require us to test it out before we kind of roll out anything to the clients. And that one was pretty safe to roll out, but some of the others, like the AI stuff or like some of the other concepts, might require a little bit more testing around. And that's what this is about, right? It's learning and testing and figuring out what's working, what's not working. Because, honestly speaking, there's a reason why we came all the way out here. It's just because we want to get a more non-American perspective of SEO and marketing. And I think it did its job, right? Because there were very few. There were some, but we were a minority. And seeing how the rest of the world approaches things differently. Because sometimes you do get into an echo chamber. Like someone says, hey, this works and it's great. And then everyone around them says, this works, it's great. And then everyone just does the same thing, right? But
and nobody ranks.
Exactly. Well, it works, right?
Right.
But then how do you get yourself out of that mindset and try out new things, right? By getting inspired by other people with different background, different cultures, right? So I think, in that case, it did do its job, right? We spoke to a lot of people. I had interesting conversations. I think I mentioned in previous episodes about some of the challenges that some other countries have that we take for granted in America. We spoke to someone from Ukraine during lunch, right? And it's not quite marketing, but she because of the war going on, they cannot fly directly out of Ukraine. They have to take the train to
Right.
another country and then fly out because the fear of missiles.
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
Right.
it's
She took the train to Poland, and then from Poland she flew in, right?
right. I mean, it's not things that we think about and we sometimes take for granted.
Mm.
So, it's good to get perspective sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yesterday we had lunch with people that were in the iGaming industry, which, it's a very competitive, I mean, we're not quite in the iGaming industry, but, it's a very competitive industry. And, how do they navigate around, guidelines and rules and regulations? It's interesting to hear. Yeah.
And I don't know if that's the official name. Maybe we're just not exposed to that industry, but I had no idea what iGaming was until yesterday. It's basically online gambling, right?
Right.
Uh,
Right. Right.
so
Right.
I was like, what's iGaming? Is it like video games on apps or on the iPhone, right? So I felt kind of like an idiot asking that question, but you're exposed to new things, and I think that's very fun, and that's where you grow the most.
Right. And that's
Yeah,
why we're here.
yeah.
Okay, well, that concludes today's episode. We have one more day here tomorrow for this SEO conference in Ho Chi Minh City. So Victor and I will continue to bring you the latest insights and trends from this conference. So be sure to subscribe to the Raw Spotlight so you don't miss out on the next episode. For our listeners, if you're enjoying these recaps, again, subscribe and to our channel on YouTube, Instagram, our LinkedIn. So Victor, remind listeners how is best that they should connect with you.
Reach out to me on LinkedIn. Make sure you leave a note saying that you found us on this episode, or else I get a lot of random people trying to add me that I don't know, right? Um, the other thing is, like, if you guys really like it, please comment in our YouTube videos, right? These are going to go on YouTube as well. And if you're listening or watching from there, make comments so we know this format is working, because this is not our standard format. We just started a couple episodes of this. Most of them were, interviews of guests and coming on in a traditional podcast. This is more like a brain dump of
Right,
what's going on, right?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So for expert website marketing, custom website design, visit readyhourwork.com. We love to help your business grow. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Raw Spotlight podcast. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.